even going anywhere. Just in my room, on the floor, playing with makeup. And it's just like a basic makeup look. Welcome to my bedroom floor. If you don't know me, my name's Bella. And honestly, I'm still defining what I'm trying to be. And on LinkedIn, I put in creative writer, I think. But honestly, I still don't know what I'm actually good at. So, if I can find my concealer, I invite you guys, girls, gays, days, to get ready with me and talk about failure. Because honestly, it's not talked enough. Failure is low-key underrated. I'm not gonna do eyeliner because, well, maybe I should. Because if it's asymmetrical, that's kind of like on brand. So, most of you guys that are watching this, I assume, probably know me from my collective X digital media account, namely Crash Culture. It low-key flopped by Q3 2025. But that's okay. That it really is. Wow, this concealer is so light. I have like a natural redness here. I hate it. It makes me look like a tomato. Long story short, but I will elaborate it later. We reached a substantial financial deficit. Ooh, look at that. Oh, my redness gone. I sound like a Nora. Let's go to the ATM. Or whatever she says. Oh my god. Anyways, yeah, we reached a substantial financial deficit. And it took a long while, but I realized that I've been trying to pursue idealism in a business, which is low-key a bad thing for me because turns out I'm bad at business. Yeah. Whoever said being an entrepreneur is better or like easier than being a, let me just blend this really quick. Oh my god, it got into my hair. Whoever said being an entrepreneur is easier than being a staff worker is kind of silly in my opinion, because during Crash's prime time, whoa, this is so light. During Crash's prime time, I didn't use any of the money from the sponsorships or investors to pay myself, albeit I still live with my family, so I'm pretty well taken care of. I am noticing my privilege over there, but I really went to it blindsided. Like, okay, let's just start from the beginning. Some prelude, a prequel. We'll call it a prequel. So like I started Crash originally. It was supposed to be a party night, like a party collective. I was gonna name it Rush. I feel no rush. But that got scrapped. And I was like, why not Crash? Because I love references like that. I'm not original. I decided that this could be more than just a party collective, because I started it because I saw so many collectives around me that bounced off inspiration from one another and created this lovely communion of people who genuinely love, I wouldn't say party music, but kinda. Like, I have so many inspiration from the people that I've met these past 2 to 3 years, and I was like, why not create one of my own? And I just wanted a place of communion, and at the time, that's what I thought of, cause that's what I did in 2024. I partied a lot, and I decided, why not make it a platform where we can uplift other collectives too, and thus it became sort of like a media representing other people. But I never liked the concept of a media, or at least the digital media landscape that we know now in Jakarta or Indonesia in general. I just wanted to make friends, I guess. I just wanted to make a space where people can express themselves creatively and be celebrated for it. And I felt that if I could platform it, why the heck not? And at the time, I didn't really know what I was good at. And I've always had this feeling that I'm not good enough for anything, or even good enough to have the courage to start something, to start planting talent in myself. I was too scared to start writing. I was too scared to start communicating with other people because I've always felt that I'm not good enough for myself. And I guess I was afraid of failure. And I was in my 6th semester of university when I started Crash. And then I hopped on my 7th. In my university, we had like an entrepreneurship program. So I hopped on it with the idea of Crash being an inclusive digital media. And for some reason, my pitch won. And I guess it boosted my confidence in business a little bit. But I remember my mentor saying to me that, do you want to make this a business, or do you want to make this something idealistic? In my head, something idealistic back then was something unprofitable, something silly. If it Because in my head it won't generate revenue or monetary value. I didn't really value idealism at that point in life because I don't know, maybe I was in college and I wanted to make my own money. So I started to move forward rather than having the idea of it, oh, let's have this platform where we all can be creative and write and design and raise awareness and issues on what we think matter as a collective of 20 somethings in Jakarta. I started pivoting it into a more business mindset. I started making things and making decisions that are a bit too soon, too big, moved into an office, even though my home is perfectly fine for a couple of 20 somethings to hang out and just make content. Then the partnerships came in, and then it genuinely stressed me out because, I've always stood up. I've always stood up for the queer community. I've always stood up for basic human rights. And in Indonesia, queer rights don't necessarily align with basic human rights, even though basic human rights should be for everybody. Queer people here don't really have that. And then the censorship began. I remember we had a post talking about queer life in a certain area of Indonesia that's outside Jakarta. And once brands started coming and wanting to work with us, we had this idea of, or like had to make a decision between keep pushing our agenda of what we believe in, or following brand guidelines that are very restrictive and censoring some of our values. And I think that's the time where I completely changed my mindset to a business mindset, even though what I wanted to do was just create this community of acceptance and inclusivity and advocate for writing, reading, literacy. At least the baseline is that. And I've always had that feeling that, oh, what I'm doing isn't enough. I've always had that wanting of instant gratification that, okay, let's get this done quick and see a lot of improvement and spike in engagement, but I really never knew how to keep the momentum. So I plowed through it with events that costed a lot of money and sponsorships we couldn't accept because of or sponsorships we couldn't work with because of misaligning values, and it costed. It really did. Turns out running events is not just vibes. That's for the attendees. Look at that blush. I've had a business before, clothing. It failed. I was in my teens. I'm recognizing that I come from a very privileged background, very supportive parents, and I tend to take it for granted. So, I don't know if that all makes sense, but it's really okay to fail. It sucks ass once you're going through it, but it's a learning curve. And once you start with the mindset of, oh, I need to monetize, I don't think that'll ever work out. I didn't really believe in myself a lot. That's why I not employ. Well, I guess employ a lot of people to do things that I could have done myself, but I was just too scared to fail. Too scared to, whoa, look at that, bro. Too scared to even try. Now I'm just going in circles talking about self-deprecation, but I mean, don't we all self-deprecate sometimes? But I guess what's amazing about this all is that I tried to make Crash happen. I met a lot of ambitious people, talented too, that I hope I could work with them again in the future. I meet a lot of friends, a lot of acquaintances, a lot of new people. Failing. Oh, I did say I wasn't gonna do eyeliner, but it's brown. One line. Well, but technically this isn't a complete failure. It might be the end as a collective, but I'm starting to believe in myself more. That my writing is good enough, my ideas are good enough, and at the end of the day, you're not alone. Everyone's failed at a certain point in their lives. Maybe in different scales, like a group project or a relationship or a business that costed you a college tuition amount of money. Not funny, Bella. But hey, I'm still here. You're still here. I don't know why you're still here. But lip liner? Okay. I have 4 self notes for improvement from this learning experience. First, never, well, not never, but don't always romanticize the grind. Like, you see on social media, you see on social media that, oh, I'm grinding, let's lock in, let's chase that bag. But at the end of the day, if you keep grinding without knowing the actual reason behind it, your goal is not just your business goal, but your personal goal as a person, what kind of person you want to be, what kind of person you want to grow into and develop into, it's not worth it. Coming home tired, not being able to spend time with your family, have some time for your own self, with friends. Because I've learned that financial gain isn't everything. It's obvious, but money makes the world go round. But what's the virtue in that? And know when to pivot. It's setting boundaries for yourself, not just in business, but in personal life. Know when to say no. This is enough. Know when, okay, this feels wrong, and logically this is wrong, and you have that thought behind, on the back of your mind. maybe I should try this. Maybe I should try that. That's okay. Pivoting is okay. If you start a business aiming for target market A and you end up with target market B, do you change the product or do you accustom the product to target market B? Not everything has to go according to plan. For example, if you're selling a clothing line that's targeted for Gen Z and youth culture, but turns out your customer base are older women in their 40s, you're still making bank, it's just not your ideal target customer. And from experience, there are some people, including maybe even me, in some certain situations, that have this ego of, oh, I need things to go the way I plan it. I need things to go for target market A.
Is that what pivoting means? I don't even know.
Third lesson I've learned, don't mix friendship with finance without contracts. Fourth lesson I've learned. Honestly, I lied. I only learned 3. Don't put a smoke machine too close to a DJ booth. Okay, so failing isn't the opposite of success. It's a part of it, or whatever they say. Stream the Subway by Chaperone. Thank you so much. I am ready to go to bed.